In early April of 2025, the Allen County Sheriff's Office in Kentucky arrested a local high school teacher for showing at least one student inappropriate photos. According to an arrest report, 25-year-old Kerston Raines and a male teacher were exchanging explicit images. A student told investigators that Raines had shown them text conversations containing the photos. Raines told sheriff's deputies that a student may have seen the images on her laptop, which was synced with her cell phone, but that she never meant for any students to see the photos. She went on to explain that it's customary for her to leave her laptop open in her classroom and that her students often use her phone to select music to play. District Superintendent Travis Hamby released a statement clarifying that Raines had been put on leave pending the outcome of an investigation and that staff members were working to gather information about the case. He declined to comment any further, citing the case as a personal matter and out of respect for Raines' rights and due process. In addition to being placed on leave, Raines was charged with one misdemeanor count of distribution of obscene matter to minors. She was briefly detained at the Allen County Detention Center before being released on a $10,000 bond, and records show that the case is ongoing, with the next court hearing scheduled for July 23rd. Number 22. Erika Mattson. On April 10th of 2025, police in Panama City, Florida, arrested 36-year-old middle school teacher Erika Mattson on suspicion of having an inappropriate relationship with a student at the school where she was teaching. The affair reportedly began in May of 2023 when the victim saw Mattson crying in her classroom at the Kaleidoscope School of Discovery and comforted her. At the time, the victim was no longer Mattson's student, but was attending classes at the neighboring high school, which is connected to the middle school. The two soon began exchanging flirtatious text messages, and the victim later told the authorities that he and Mattson planned to go on a date at a local movie theater but never made it inside because they spent the whole time talking and making out. In the days that followed, the victim began having intercourse with Mattson at her home. He couldn't recall how many times it happened, but he told police that there were numerous encounters of this nature before he graduated. He provided investigators with photos of himself and Mattson kissing and embracing, and the teacher was charged accordingly based on the allegations and evidence. Although the victim was a legal adult throughout the relationship, prosecutors accused Mattson of committing a felony due to the young man's status as an enrolled student and Mattson's position of authority at the school. Mattson posted a $25,000 bond and was released from the Bay County Jail shortly after her arrest. Records show that she entered a deferred prosecution agreement, giving her an opportunity to avoid any serious criminal convictions as long as she avoids additional legal trouble and follows certain other rules imposed by the court for a 6-month period. Number 21. Damian Conti. A former English teacher claims he saved the life of a student who nearly died after his alleged abuse drove her to a point of unbearable hopelessness. 35-year-old Damian Joseph Conti was suspended from his teaching position at a charter school in Boynton Beach, Florida, after the incident unfolded in February of 2024. He was arrested that same month after reportedly confessing to the inappropriate relationship, which began in late 2023, and was charged with 6 counts of unlawful activity with a minor. In April of 2025, Conti was hit with an additional charge of trying to assist the victim in her attempt to end her emotional suffering. Prosecutors accused him of going to the store with the student to buy supplies for the act, but Conti adamantly denied the allegation, arguing through his attorney that the victim was acting entirely on her own accord and that the act was her idea. In a motion, the defense argued that Conti refused to help the girl after meeting her in the store's parking lot and learning of her plans. Instead, he dialed 911, and the motion claims that Conti's willingness to assist the police enabled them to save the girl's life. If convicted as charged, he could face more than a century in prison. Number 20. Hillary Danielle Williams. While responding to a crisis at the Lufkin, Texas home of 33-year-old math teacher Hillary Danielle Williams and her boyfriend, 37-year-old Michael Scott McCary, in February of 2025, Angelina County Sheriff's deputies found evidence of inappropriate images featuring minors and animals. The content was reportedly found on McCary's phone, and both he and Williams were both arrested for possessing the illegal material. Williams was free from jail after posting a $350,000 bond. 2 days later, she resigned from her job as a middle and high school teacher for the Wells Independent School District. She was charged and later indicted for bestiality and possession of CSAM, or abusive material featuring minors, with intent to distribute. McCary was detained on a $250,000 bond for the same CSAM possession charge and has also since been indicted. He remains in custody at the Angelina County Jail. The disgraced former educator ran into more legal trouble in June when she was rearrested based on allegations that she abused a minor victim. According to court documents, the victim came forward to authorities in late April, claiming that Williams had touched them inappropriately. Williams was booked into jail following an investigation and is now facing an additional charge of indecency with a child. She was held on $200,000 bond but no longer appears to be in custody. Both Williams and McCary are currently awaiting their next court hearing, which is scheduled for July 22nd. Number 19. Lillian McMillan. While investigating the reported assault of a minor in Shreveport, Louisiana in March of 2025, detectives questioned 26-year-old English language arts teacher Lillian McMillan, who worked at a local Christian academy. Following the interview, McMillan was charged with 1 count of prohibited conduct between an educator and a student. Law enforcement officials have revealed very little information about the case, including whether the victim was a student of McMillan's and whether the alleged assault occurred on school property. McMillan was immediately let go from her job after the allegations came to light, and the school's pastor sent parents an email disclosing that there was an ongoing investigation into allegations of inappropriate conduct between a teacher and a student. He went on to explain that the suspect had been hired during the summer of 2024 after being cleared for the position via a criminal background check. The pastor confirmed that the school was cooperating with law enforcement and would continue to do so as the investigation continued. Number 18. Alainee Simonson. In a shocking case that made news headlines in December of 2024, 29-year-old Texas schoolteacher Alainee Simonson was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a homeless student and getting his name tattooed on her body. The crimes reportedly occurred in 2022 and 2023 at Simonson's Grapevine home, where she had invited the student to live after learning that he needed a place to stay while his legal guardian worked out of state. The teen's mother, who lived in Honduras, gave permission for her son to live at the home. Allegations of inappropriate conduct surfaced in September of 2024 when the victim told police that he and Simonson had engaged in intercourse at least 40 times. He also said that Simonson had sent him an unclothed photo of herself featuring a tattoo of his name. Simonson admitted to tattooing the teen's name on her arm, but denied having an inappropriate relationship with him. She resigned from her teaching job in February of 2023 after falling under investigation. At the time, investigators were unable to substantiate their suspicions against the teacher, who has since been charged with assault and having an improper relationship with a student. Number 17. Anna Marie Crocker. During the fall of 2024, Wisconsin authorities accused a former elementary school staff member of assaulting multiple minor victims. 33-year-old Anna Marie Crocker was first arrested in Silver Lake in October after the parent of a victim reported that his teenage son had been forced to engage in intercourse with Crocker. The boy, who was friends with Crocker's son, claimed that Crocker woke him up while undressed and assaulted him when he was at her house for a sleepover with some friends. He described the incident as non-consensual and told police that he had tried to push the suspect off of him while repeatedly telling her to get off. Months later, Crocker allegedly texted the boy apologizing for her actions while trying to make him feel guilty. While investigating the case, authorities discovered evidence indicating that Crocker had been exchanging inappropriate pictures and messages with another underage victim on Snapchat. She was also accused of assaulting the same victim in a parking lot and of having explicit conversations with 2 additional victims. The victims are all current or former students at the school Crocker taught at prior to her arrest, although authorities say that the crimes did not occur during school hours or on school property. She was fired from her job after the allegations came to light and was charged with a slew of crimes, including exposing a child to harmful material, child enticement, possession of CSAM, exploitation, and abuse-related counts. In March of 2025, the judge overseeing Crocker's case ordered her to undergo a competency evaluation to determine whether she's capable of assisting with her defense and moving forward with her case. Number 16. Julie Rizzitello. 36-year-old Julie Rizzitello of Brick Township, New Jersey, resigned from her job as an English teacher at Wall High School in July of 2024 after falling under suspicion of abusing a student. Shortly thereafter, she was charged with assault, witness tampering, and other crimes after starting an inappropriate relationship with the victim earlier that year. According to investigators, Rizzitello was intimate with the victim on multiple occasions and in at least 3 different law enforcement jurisdictions over a roughly 2-month period. She was accused of sending unclothed photos to the victim, having intercourse with the victim in his car, and exchanging explicit messages with the teen. Just weeks after her first arrest, Rizzitello was hit with additional charges for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with another student. Back in 2017, the victim claimed that they engaged in intercourse many times and at various locations, including the victim's workplace and at Rizzitello's home while her husband was at work. In addition to the alleged abuse, Rizzitello is accused of contacting both victims and telling them to delete incriminating material from their phones during the investigation. The judge released her from the Monmouth County Jail under strict orders not to have any contact with either of the victims and banned her from working with minors while she awaits trial. Number 15. Alyssa Perry. In June of 2025, a high school math teacher and cheerleading coach was arrested in Rockaway, New Jersey for having an inappropriate relationship with one of her students. According to authorities, 35-year-old Alyssa Perry taught and tutored the victim at Morris Knolls High School before assaulting the teenage male student at her home on 2 occasions in February and March. News reports state that law enforcement learned of the allegations in March after a school administrator notified the Denville Police Department and the Morris County Prosecutor's Office. Perry faces 2 counts of assault and 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child and is currently free on pre-trial supervision. She was suspended from her job following her arrest and is banned from having any contact with the victim, the school, or any of its students while on pre-trial supervision. In the meantime, authorities say the school district is cooperating with the ongoing investigation into the matter, but have not released any other details regarding the case. Number 14. Matthew Boster. After working for the Horry County School District in South Carolina for less than a year, 31-year-old high school social studies teacher Matthew Boster was accused of having inappropriate contact with a student. Boster began the job at Einor High School in August of 2024 and was arrested and placed on leave in June of 2025 after one of the victim's parents discovered the alleged abuse and came forward. According to court documents, Boster frequently made physical contact with the victim, often touching her in ways that are never considered acceptable between a teacher and a student. Boster is also accused of trying to persuade the victim to engage in inappropriate activity. Police say that the claims are supported by records of electronic communications between Boster and the victim. Boster was charged with second-degree assault and battery and criminal solicitation of a minor. During his first court hearing, the victim and her family urged the judge to deny bond, but the defense managed to convince the court to set a bond at an affordable $10,000, and Boster is currently free but has since resigned from his teaching position. Number 13. Cedric Gerald. 48-year-old former middle school principal, Cedric Gerald's 13-year career in education came to an abrupt end in June of 2025 when he was accused of engaging in inappropriate conduct with at least 4 students. At the time of his arrest, Gerald had been working as the principal at Westview Middle School in St. Louis County, Missouri. Since 2023, the alleged victims told police that the suspect sent text messages, made inappropriate video calls, and paid them to FaceTime with him. Additionally, Gerald is accused of engaging in illegal physical acts with the victims over an 18-month period started in January 2023, shortly after he became the school's principal. But the abuse allegedly spanned multiple districts, and a civil law firm has agreed to represent at least 6 complainants. Gerald faces a slew of criminal charges, including trafficking, exploitation, possession of CSAM, harassment, misconduct-related counts, and more. Records show that he's currently in custody at the St. Louis County Justice Center as he awaits his next court hearing. Number 12. Michael Pipp. 57-year-old Michael Pipp was fired from his job as a gym teacher at a Catholic school in Waterford, Wisconsin in 2016 after being criminally charged for behaving inappropriately toward a student. He was convicted of an assault charge, effectively ending his career in education, and is now facing additional charges relating to crimes he allegedly committed when he was still a teacher. A second victim came forward in 2022, telling authorities that she was too mentally distressed to report Pipp after his first arrest. The allegations came to light after the victim told her therapist about the assault, prompting her mother to contact law enforcement. According to court documents, Pipp asked the female student to be a special helper during class and took her to a storage room where he abused her. He is now facing new assault and child enticement charges and is currently in custody at the Racine County Jail in lieu of $25,000 bail as he awaits his next court hearing, which is scheduled for August. Number 11. Juan Sanchez Moya. In June of 2025, police in Union City, New Jersey, arrested 26-year-old middle school teacher Juan Sanchez Moya on suspicion of assaulting a teenage boy he met playing the video game Roblox. Moya, who until recently was employed by West New York Middle School, is accused of exchanging inappropriate photos with the teen after they first connected on the gaming platform, then assaulting the victim in April in the victim's garage. According to a criminal complaint, Moya also assaulted the teen inside a bathroom at an Aldi's grocery store in North Bergen in late May, and is accused of trying to set up a third meeting with the victim at a Crunch Fitness gym. Police began investigating the case in late May after receiving a complaint from the victim's mother. Moya was charged with distributing obscene material to a minor and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. In a statement, prosecutors clarified that the victim was not one of his students and the abuse occurred off school grounds. Number 10. Chase Rush. And now, former substitute teacher is accused of sending obscene content to members of a 7th grade class he was overseeing in Hillsborough County, Florida in December of 2024. According to court documents, 22-year-old Chase Rush told the middle school students to turn on the airdrop feature on their phones. He then sent content containing nudity and bestiality to at least 4 students. During an interview with detectives, Rush reportedly admitted to also sending the illicit material to an underage relative. He was charged with 9 counts of filming, distributing or possessing image or video containing bestiality, 8 counts of selling or distributing obscene content to a minor, 4 counts of transmission of harmful material to a minor, and unlawful use of a two-way communications device. The investigation is ongoing. Number 9. Lissa Lagasse. In one of the more unusual cases on today's list, a Massachusetts woman is accused of working as a teacher for several school districts while falsely claiming to be a Purple Heart recipient and lying about her job qualifications. According to reports, 57-year-old Lissa Lagasse fell under suspicion after an unspecified incident involving her service animal drew attention to inconsistencies regarding her background and credentials. She reportedly holds a valid teaching license but lied about having undergrad and graduate degrees. In June of 2025, she was indicted on 21 charges, including 3 counts of pretending to hold degrees, 3 counts of procurement fraud, 3 counts of larceny in excess of $1,200, 2 counts of stolen valor, identity fraud, reckless endangerment of a child, intimidation of a witness, and more. She pleaded not guilty and was remanded into custody with the requirement to wear a GPS monitoring device in the event that she posts the $25,000 bail required to secure her release. Lagasse's brother-in-law, Michael, told Boston 25 that he never expected something like this to happen. He said that most of the family really doesn't trust her that much, and that he himself wasn't sure if he trusted Lagasse, and that she has a way of doing things that most of us are not aware of. Lagasse is due back in court on July 28th of 2025. Number 8. Oliver Fell. In early June of 2025, a middle school teacher was arrested in Manatee County, Florida, for sending lewd messages to a teenage student. According to prosecutors, 28-year-old Oliver Fell began Snapchatting with the male victim, who is half her age, in December of 2024. The school district launched an investigation after learning of the allegations against Fell, including that she sent the victim an explicit photo in early January. Speaking with ABC7, the boy's mother, Beverly Hernandez, claimed that school administrators initially refused to believe the allegations and even suspended her son because they thought he was lying. Hernandez learned about the inappropriate messages in early March after being called to the school because her son was being disciplined, yet Fell continued to teach until mid-May when she was reassigned. In a statement, the school district said it was cooperating with law enforcement and the State Department of Education, which has the power to revoke Fell's teaching certificate. Fell was officially fired in June at around the time of her arrest and is facing felony charges of lewd conduct with a student by an authority figure and transmission of harmful material to a minor. Number 7. Jason Allen Basset. In early June of 2025, police in Blaine, Minnesota received a report about a local elementary school teacher possessing an upskirt video featuring a minor victim. The alleged crime was reported by the ex-wife of 56-year-old Jason Allen Basset, who reportedly sent the video to his daughter by accident. While reviewing the footage, a detective concluded that Bassett's face could be seen in the footage prior to walking over to the victim and surreptitiously positioning the camera under her dress. The victim appeared to be washing cupboards in a classroom, and the person filming the video could be heard encouraging her to reach higher as he filmed the illegal footage. According to police, Basset admitted to filming the video for the thrill of it, while acknowledging that he knew what he did was wrong. He was booked into the Anoka County Jail on suspicion of invading a minor's privacy and was released 2 days later. The case appears to be ongoing. Number 6. Heather Ozment. 49-year-old kindergarten teacher Heather Ozment was arrested in early June of 2025 for allegedly abusing a teenage victim off school grounds in Calera, Alabama, 2 months earlier. Police immediately launched an investigation after learning of the allegations, including that Ozment took the victim into a bathroom for illicit purposes. In the meantime, Ozment was placed on leave from her job at her Shelby County Elementary School. She has since been charged with 2 abuse-related counts and 1 count of enticing a child to enter a vehicle or house for immoral purposes. Following her arrest, Ozment was booked into the Shelby County Jail. She no longer appears to be in custody, which means that she most likely posted the $45,000 bond necessary to secure her freedom amid the ongoing case. In the meantime, authorities are urging anyone with information about the case to come forward and share what they know. Number 5. Nicole Hernandez-Baird. In late May of 2025, the Exploited and Missing Child Unit of the Wichita Police Department in Kansas received a report about a local teacher having inappropriate relations with one of her students. 3 days later, law enforcement arrested the suspect, 30-year-old Nicole Hernandez, on multiple charges relating to the allegations. Hernandez, who also goes by the last name Baird, was an art teacher at Wichita North High School. According to court documents, the victim was an enrolled student at the school. Authorities have declined to release additional details beyond confirming the charges and that the case centered around an inappropriate student-teacher relationship. Hernandez was placed on administrative leave following her arrest. She's currently free on a $50,000 bond as she awaits her next court hearing. Number 4. Patrick Corr. A former middle school teacher is facing abuse charges in Albuquerque, New Mexico after a lengthy investigation led to his arrest in May of 2025. 33-year-old Patrick Corr fell under scrutiny about a year earlier after he was accused of laying on a female student's lap on a bus ride during a field trip. The incident was reportedly witnessed by other teachers who described feeling extremely uncomfortable with the situation. Corr was placed on administrative leave after the allegation came to light. While cleaning out his classroom, district officials found love letters from students referring to the teacher in an explicit fashion. Prosecutors claim that Corr allowed several students to spend the night at his house while providing alcohol, and at least 2 female victims told police that they had intercourse with the disgraced former educator. Corr pleaded not guilty to criminal charges and is currently being held without bail as he awaits trial. During a court hearing, the defense argued that one of the victims had lied about her age and was seeking an older man, while the prosecution accused the defense of victim blaming. Authorities believe there are more victims and are urging others to contact the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. Number 3. Robert Dinkins. In late March of 2025, police in Gibson City, Illinois, received a complaint from the parent of a local teenager who had found concerning communication from a teacher in their child's phone. The suspect, Robert Robbie L. Dinkins, was a 13-year employee at Gibson City Middle School, where he taught math and coached several sports including track, basketball, and soccer. He was fired in April due to the allegations he faces and is now facing legal charges. During a forensic search of Dinkins' phone, investigators found evidence to suggest that he had engaged in inappropriate relations with a high school-aged student. In early June, a warrant was issued for his arrest on 6 counts of criminal abuse. He was apprehended in Mason, Georgia, with plans to extradite him to Ford County, Illinois, to face the charges against him. Court documents state that Dinkins repeatedly crossed teacher-student boundaries to the point where parents believed that he was grooming their children. More specifically, he's accused of texting with students outside school hours and spending time one-on-one with students both at school and at his home. Officials declined to reveal other details, citing a desire to maintain the integrity of the investigations and legal proceedings against Dinkins. Today's topic was requested by Daily Ashohat 1320 and Nikki123BXD. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comment section below. Number 2. Nicholas Allen Anders. Former schoolteacher Nicholas Allen Anders was already facing indecent liberties charges for having inappropriate relations with a student in Alamance County, North Carolina. When he was charged with additional crimes of a similar nature, he fell under investigation in late May and resigned from his job the very next day after being employed for the district for around 20 years. Anders was first arrested on June 4th of 2025 for indecent liberties with a student and soliciting prostitution. 5 days later, he was charged with indecent liberties with a student in another case. Court documents list 3 different victims, including a woman who was not a student. The incidents involving the students took place in May, with a second student coming forward after learning that Anders had been charged for victimizing another teen. Authorities remain tight-lipped regarding the specific details of the alleged crimes, but are encouraging anyone else who may have been victimized to come forward so they can investigate. Number 1. Whitney Shull. 39-year-old former substitute teacher Whitney Shull is facing criminal charges in Reno County, Kansas, based on allegations that she had inappropriate alcohol-fueled encounters with 2 teenage students in early 2025. According to reports, one of the encounters was consensual, while the other occurred with a victim who was unconscious and was therefore non-consensual. Additionally, Shull is accused of holding down a third victim by their wrists in an unsuccessful attempt to engage in inappropriate conduct. She was arrested in June on charges of unlawful relations, attempted unlawful relations, battery, and 2 counts of hosting minors consuming alcohol. Shull is currently free on bond and is due back in court on July 23rd for a status hearing. Thanks for watching. If you could wake up tomorrow fluent in any second language, which one would you pick and why? Share your choice in the comment section below.